What we could be led to believe was the final Nintendo Switch 1 Direct, it's safe to say there's a lot of highs, lows, and confusing moments all around. So let's get into all that up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So we finally, hopefully, probably, got our last Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. And Nintendo seems to be carrying on with their confusing range of announcements. While I won't sit here and go through every little smaller game that was announced, I want to expand on a few points and at least try to make sense of what we've seen. Up first, a rather interesting point of emphasis on this Direct was the emergence of PlayStation games coming to the Nintendo Switch. We got not one, but we got two announcements for games coming to the platform. And for that, we got games like Patapon and Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, which, hey, that wasn't on my bingo card. And what is very interesting here is the fact that these games are being licensed out to Bandai Namco, who happen to be the publisher for these games. Now, this is where we could open the doors for other games like Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, or hell, let's get Ape Escape out there, to be dished out for this remaster treatment via another publisher. Plus, in my eyes, those platformer games specifically would make a killing on Nintendo's platform, because let's face it, we Nintendo fans, we love our platformers, and those games are pretty damn good ones. I can dream, can I? Now to move on to the beef of this show, we got a good look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and I still can't fathom how this game is running this good on the basic Switch. It really makes you think what could have been. But what I think stuck out here most in regards to Metroid Prime 4 was the fact we still don't have that release date. Now I'm going to stop myself right there and calm down a bit, because it's looking more and more likely that this game will be a Day 1 Switch 2 game. So they're most likely saving that release date for next week. Another little secondary bit of kind of me just being picky here is the fact we still don't have Metroid Primes 2 and 3. I know, that's just me being picky, but how we can skip over 2 and 3 before we get to 4? I don't know, it just seems weird to me. It also feels like a lot more people are into Metroid nowadays, so now would be the perfect time to release that game. Now on to the confusing bit of the show, and it's this whole digital game card thing, and honestly, my brain still hurts thinking about it. Nintendo, in theory, is basically trying to make sharing digital games as easy, well, emphasis on that, easy as sharing physical games. But that's the problem, too. This is Nintendo, and they're always gonna find a way to kind of muddy the waters. But here's how I got the message from them, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments if you'd like. So you're gonna be able to purchase a digital game and load it as a digital game card. You will then be able to load a digital game card on a second Switch console. You could also lend out your digital games to your Switch family group members. And this is all through a local wireless connection, and that's for up to 2 weeks. And if you happen to be into this feature or it will help you, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm still trying to understand, but it will be available through an April system update. But again, my main gripe here is why make it so confusing? Just kind of be like, hey, you can share digital games now, and that's it. Period. End of the conversation. But no, they gotta add these other little quirks, or whatever we're calling them nowadays. Now, oddly enough, this isn't the end of this whole digital game card conversation, because there's a secondary story here that kind of ties into this all. So what's going on here is, it looks like a feature for the Nintendo Switch 2 might have been revealed, and it kind of went under the radar. Now, this all kind of stems back to those digital game cards bit, and it was within the fine print, and it was caught by a very eagle-eyed viewer. Quote, compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards. And this is where it gets good. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 edition games can only be loaded onto Nintendo Switch 2 systems. So again, emphasis on Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Those are two very different things, but warning here, we're about to enter speculation station. Just kind of drawing conclusions here. Up first, yes, this could all just mean cross-generation titles like we assume Pokemon Legends EA is, along with Metroid Prime 4. But I have seen people online think this could tease a few Switch 1 games that could potentially be getting their very own Switch 2 editions as well. For that, I think it's safe to say the higher end games like Zelda, or I think they owe us new versions of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but hey, who knows? But it's looking more and more likely that we do get cross-generation upgrades for older Switch 1 games, and hey, I'm gonna get crazy and say this could be GameCube as well. Or, at this point, any older Nintendo console. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. What'd you think about this Direct? Was there any fun games that you guys want to talk about? And what do you think of this potential Switch 2 feature? But that about does it here. I've been K-Lo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.